Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJ Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today is August 31st, 2023. It's been an honor to be part of this growing community from all over the world, with people coming together just to say, as Chana just did, Boker Tov, to find each other, to celebrate and to support each other, to learn some Torah, and to find a more helpful and hopeful way to begin a day. Sandy, good to see you. Hope that you are well. Sharon and Linda, Barry, good to see you. Linda, Boker Tov. Hi, Valerie. Nice to see you. I hope that everyone is doing safe and well. It has been beautiful to share this community for 3.5 years. Lisa and Marilyn, good to see you. It's nice to see our regular friends. We know who to expect, and then sometimes we meet somebody new. It's all good. Dale and Lydia, good to see you, friends. Let's take a breath, get ready for a bracha for learning, learn some Torah, start a good day. Here we go. Amy, Boker Tov. Nice to see you. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Dale. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Cecile. From Paris, Disney. Judy, you take us to the coolest places. Jill, Adrian, good to see you. Hi, everybody. Let's sing a bracha. Ya la 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 la, la 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 la, dere ya la 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 la, ay ya la la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asot b'divrei Torah, la'asot b'divrei Torah, hafoch ba ve'hafoch ba, la'asot b'divrei Torah. Today, la 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 la. Today, la 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 la. All right, Deborah, happy birthday. Enjoy that. Fabrice and Judy, you're both in Paris. Who knows, maybe you'll meet up. It is so good to be with all of you for this, our 874th broadcast. Thank you, Penny, for keeping us on track. Hope that everyone is safe and well. Let's learn a little bit of Torah today. It's Parshat Ki Tavo, and we've spent some time talking about the very beginning of the Parsha, where we bring our first fruits, we're commanded to bring our first fruits upon entering the land. When we do enter the land and we do bring our first fruits, we go to the high priest and we bring the fruit to the high priest as a representative of God, which of course is incredibly complicated, that a human being should represent the divine, but don't we all? And we recite in front of the priest, Arami Oved Avi. My father was a wandering Aramaean, or an Aramaean sought to destroy my father. Two very different interpretations. But what I want to point to is that there is a second prayer in this week's Parsha that we typically don't talk about. And the reason why we don't typically talk about it is because it is based on a practice that we have adapted completely, so much so that there isn't really a liturgy for it. What's that practice? It's called Maaser. In the agrarian society, the farming world that we were in, which was a much more sustainable way of living, if you ask me, in the ancient world, we would set aside portions of our fields for different parts of our community. There's Maaser Sheni, which is for the holy, Maaser Rishon, also for the holy, Maaser Oni, which is setting aside a tithe of our fields for people in need, for the poor. We see this actually continue through the process called leket and shichicha. When we were harvesting and we dropped grain, we weren't supposed to pick it up. It was for the people behind us, because people who were poor were always allowed to go through the fields and pick up what they would need from what hadn't been collected. And in fact, many ancient Israelites who were farmers had the tradition of intentionally dropping much food behind them when they saw that there was someone collecting behind them. It was a natural way of existing both with the earth that tends to us and tending to the people who don't have a stable place on earth or enough to eat. It was a structural thing that we did in order to give away enough for those vulnerable members of society, who of course, according to Jewish tradition, are also required to give tzedakah. All of us can give something to someone else, no matter how little we have. And when we have more, we're called to give more. There was a prayer that was recited when we brought Maaser. And I want to share with you just 3 verses from this parsha. I'll read one in Hebrew, but the rest in English. The Hebrew is Hashkifa Mim'on Kodshecha. If you're curious, it's chapter 26, verse 15 of the book of Deuteronomy. Hashkifa mim'on kodshecha min hashamayim, uvarech et amcha, et Yisrael, ve'et ha'adama asher natata lanu, kasher nishbata lavotenu eretz zavat chalav udvash. So listen to the English. When you gather the corner of your field as a tithe for those in need, you shall declare before God. So this is the formula. I have cleared out the consecrated portion from the house, and I have given it to the families of the Levite, the stranger, the orphan, and the widow, just as you have commanded me. This is what the farmer says to God. I have done what I was supposed to do, which was take care of members of society in need. I have neither transgressed nor neglected your commandments. I have not eaten of it while in mourning. I have not cleared out any of it while I wasn't in a state that I could touch it. And I have not deposited any of it with the dead, which would have been an ancient way of putting food near the dead. I have obeyed God. I have done as you commanded me. And then this last part of it. Imagine if we had a ritual like this when we paid our taxes. Because even though we try to minimize the impact of taxes on our economic situation, taxes at their best are about doing what we're describing in the Parsha. Listen to this final part of the formula. Look down from your holy abode, from heaven, and bless your people Israel and the soil you have given us, a land flowing with milk and honey, as you swore to our ancestors. This Parsha is full of lots of stuff. When you enter the land, be grateful. Be careful because there are consequences for your actions. But here, exactly as Fran just said, it is a moral, civil society commanded by the Torah. It's not when I feel good about giving that I should give. It's not for the recognition with plaques or some, elevated level of giving. And of course, I know I represent a significant philanthropy that sometimes uses these mechanisms for helping us understand and feel motivated to give. It's true. But there's a difference between philanthropy and taxes. Taxes we sense as an obligation. Philanthropy, some of us understand the obligatory nature of supporting community and doing good as a collective. Thank God for that. But there's no question that were the government to allocate enough resources, there would be no poor. We can do our best to feed people, and we will. But we don't have the power that a society has as a whole. The Torah has a vision for a society where there's no need for philanthropy, because everyone does what they are commanded to do, and then everyone will have what they need. So we shouldn't in any way minimize the importance of the work that good philanthropies do, but we should recognize that likely that need is as big as it is because governments aren't doing what they're supposed to do. So we should have both impulses in our hearts based on this week's portion, to be able to say before God, I have done everything I'm supposed to do. I haven't used what I have in the wrong way. I have done as you commanded me, and I've taken care of those children in need, those families in need. I've supported the leaders of my community, which the Levites then, but today we could talk about religious leadership, political leadership. I have supported those I believe in so that they can do their work wholeheartedly and with strong bodies. I have supported my society because, God, that's what you expect of me. What an important thing to remember. What a blessing it is to be part of a people who have a Torah that reminds us that in order to be faithful with God, we have to show faith with each other. We have to be present in community so that we can support organizations like UJA. Valerie, I am very proud to be part of this holy work. And we should also recognize that if we want to make a difference in the world, we have to think about it in at least two ways. One of them is, when society isn't doing what it must, how can we as individual citizens and members support those in need? And how can we make sure that society remembers to do what it's supposed to? All of that is part of living a holy life. So may we be blessed to have those two things in our hearts as we make the decisions we make every day, so that we can stand faithful with God, feeling strong and right with ourselves and with our neighbors, because then we can say something like this too. Hashkifa mim'on kodshecha. God, look at us. Aren't you proud? May it come to be that we're able to say such a thing soon and in our days. All right, friends, let's go into today. Let's have a good one. Let's sing our way into a good day. Bless you, friends. See you tomorrow.